Kirito is a hacker. Yes. Well, no. Kinda. In order to explain, we have to go back to before Sword Art Online was even created. I'm talking about Accel World. This light novel and then eventual anime was released just prior to Sword Art Online, and they share an author, Kawahara Reki, who has stated that these two stories occur in the same universe. It is no coincidence then that these anime both share some similar concepts such as nerve gear and incarnation. In Accel World, the incarnate system is explained as a rare ability to use the power of will as a way to become faster and more powerful or to strengthen the user's moves in battle. We learned during the Alicization arc of Sword Art Online that the incarnate system also exists, and this is a likely explanation for Kirito being able to overcome seemingly impossible situations. It is a widely accepted idea that one of the first observed uses of the incarnate system in SAO is Kirito's ability to dual-wield swords, which clearly violates the rules of Aincrad. We also observe its use in the final Aincrad fight with Heathcliff. Both he and Asuna are killed in the battle, but by using incarnation, he is able to hold on long enough to slay Heathcliff. The actual term incarnation is not brought up until the Alicization arc. Please note that the Underworld was made with significant amount of research and development. Underworld uses a next generation full dive technology called a Soul Translator, which unlike the atmosphere and the nerve gear, connects to an individual's Fluctlight. This universe's version of a soul. Incarnations occur in the Underworld due to an exploit of the universe's structure. The Underworld has a core code base for the world mechanics, but in order to limit development time, it relies on an upper layer called the main visualizer. The main visualizer generates the Underworld from the light cube cluster, which has the sensory memory of every individual Fluctlight in the Underworld. So, a quick translation is that the program is using the memories of the world's inhabitants to build out the environment. This makes sense because if one of the artificial Fluctlight plants a tree in the world, he or she will remember doing so, therefore the life of this tree will be tracked in the universe. This reminds me of a quantum theory that asks, if a tree falls in a forest, and there is nobody around to hear it, does it make a sound? Without getting too deep into philosophy, I think in this case the answer would be no, because if the main visualizer is unable to collect data of an event occurring through the experiences of the artificial Fluctlights, then it should be considered to have never happened in the first place. Let me know what you think about this idea in the comments. Now that I have explained the architectural mechanics of the Underworld, I can now break down how we arrived at incarnation. Incarnation is essentially an exploit. Kirito is able to use it because he has subconsciously carried foreign memories with him into the Underworld. When Kirito logs into Underworld, we are told that his memories are wiped as a precaution, so he thinks he is a native just like the artificial Fluctlights. The Soul Translator merges his memories with the light cube cluster in order to operate the main visualizer. Problem is that Kirito has subconscious memories about his time in Aincrad, and therefore when he draws upon these abilities from memory subconsciously, the main visualizer builds it out from his will and thoughts, resulting in the incarnation. This is an ability we see that most high-level integrity knights are able to perform. I theorize that all incarnations in Underworld are as a result of Kirito's early involvement with the development process of Underworld. In the Underworld, they explore a concept called Fluctlight acceleration, where time can pass at an asymmetrical rate to that of the real world. This is similar to another quantum mechanics theory called time dilation. We are shown in flashbacks that Kirito was aged down to a child and grew up previously in the Underworld. It is unclear how many times this occurred, but based on theory discussed previously, that means Kirito's Fluctlight would have been one of the early contributors to the mechanics of the main visualizer. Because of the Fluctlight acceleration, even though the Underworld civilization is hundreds of years old, Kirito's previous visits could have occurred in the very foundational moments of the world. I believe this to be the cause of the incarnation abilities found throughout the Underworld. The major question is, was this an intentional occurrence provisioned by the development team, or was this an unforeseen consequence of Kirito's involvement with the project? Now to answer the core question, is Kirito a hacker? Well, by definition, a security hacker is someone who, with their technical knowledge, uses bugs or exploits to break into computer systems. We know that as a beta player for Sword Art Online, Kirito has beyond the expected knowledge of the game before it was open to the public. The anime itself never dives deep into Kirito's technical understanding, however he was able to explain the complex concept of the Soul Translator to Asuna when asked. This therefore is a strong indication that he is technically capable. In Aincrad, when he defeats Heathcliff, he does so by using incarnation, but the nature of how it works is different from in the Underworld. During SAO, the full dive equipment used is the nerve gear, which interfaces with the brain instead of the Fluctlight. It is believed that during this early incarnation, Kirito is able to overwhelm the system with neural input, making the impossible possible. The obvious analogy here is Neo from the Matrix, who through awareness and mental capacity is able to bend the rules of the Matrix. Back to SAO. Because Kirito has used exploits in the nerve gear to achieve the impossible, he has committed it to memory. So for him, an incarnation is as real a memory as going to buy ice cream or studying for a test. Therefore, when he goes to Underworld, where the main visualizer operates by drawing from the real memories of its inhabitant Fluctlights, it's no surprise that incarnation is one of these memories. So, to answer the question, yes, Kirito is a hacker in Aincrad, because he's abusing an exploit found in the system, but he's not a hacker in Underground, because these abilities are drawing from the very real memories of having done them before. Thanks for watching today. Drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about today's video. I'll see you next time. Bye.